Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and it is the regularly scheduled Water Pollution Control Authority meeting. There was a posted agenda. Any proposed changes?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to take the item from new business, the item under item number 4, item number 1 underneath that paragraph, and move that to the May meeting, because there's an error in supporting documentation for that spur connection. And this would provide some time to correct that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. So item number 1 under new business is moved to the May meeting. Any other proposed changes? Seeing none, we will continue down the list. Approval of the March 19th, 2025 meeting minutes. Second. Comments? All in favor? Unanimous again. All right. Old business, item number 1, to review and act on a WPCA decision to connect 1899 Bronson Road to the public sanitary sewer at an INI rate of $3,333.
Okay, guys, so I put this on the agenda to bring it up there's a little bit of discrepancy. Mr. Kenny was at the 2023 meeting and the INI fee was voted unanimously at the rate of $3,333. However, the fee has gone up since then. And after reviewing the video, it was voted on unanimously for 1 year. So we're within the 2-year cap. And so we're still looking at Mr. Kenny will be in to pay the INI fee any day. He's been waiting patiently and all. So I wanted to discuss it with the commission as their INI fee rates are something that we, take a little bit seriously. So after watching it on WebEx, after I dug into this one is for $3,333 voted unanimously. Normally it's 2 years, right? But looking into it, it was voted on WebEx for 1 year. So I want to just bring that to your attention, just to
add on to what John's describing, there's a little discrepancy on this one. So at the actual meeting on September 20th, 2023, the discussion identified a vote for 1 year at that amount. And the meeting minutes identified 2 years at that amount. And so we're bringing it really to the commission tonight, not necessarily recommending a change in the decision for the actual amount of INI fee that's due at this time, but more so to resolve that discrepancy between what was discussed and voted on, what was recorded in the minutes, and then acknowledging that those minutes were approved the following month.
The minutes are the.
So I think we're just looking
The
to just resolve it with the commission that
Right.
there's agreement that the 2 years is what's holding, even though discussed was 1 year, and we're able to provide our permittee the decision to.
Right.
Was there any discussion? I think we normally.
No,
just
the
do 2
minutes were
years. Was
approved
there a
the
reason it
following
was one?
month, from the prior month in September or so in 2023. So there was no discrepancies. It's just he's within his 2-year time frame, and he's ready to move forward with this proposal. So when I saw that, I said, this Michelle and I agree that this should be discussed with the commission before.
It sounds like it might have just been a discrepancy and then we verbalized it versus what we all, we always do 2 years.
I can't make that decision unless I discuss it.
Right. No, but I guess that was my point though, in terms if you listened to the verbal, the recording, was there any discussion on why it was verbalized as 1 year when, to my knowledge, we always do 2
No, I
years?
think it was just my opinion, I think it was just a discrepancy. So just saying 1 year rather than 2 years.
And so what are we actually acting on right now?
And so we're just acting on the decision to confirm that it is indeed the
2
2
years,
years
which is what the meeting
rather
minutes
than
already
the 1
convey
year.
anyway.
Yeah, the meeting minutes convey 2 years.
Okay.
It's all,
I mean,
So it's a discussion, and we don't need a motion.
Just discussion.
well, it says to review and act, so I guess we do need to act, but I
Well,
would,
Motion to,
Uphold the approval
Yeah.
of the meeting minutes.
motion to confirm the meeting minutes as presented on the September 20th, 2023, are correct.
Giving them until September 2025 to
And then
complete the transaction.
In relation to the I and I thing, just because
Oh,
we don't know if there's anything else in the minutes that we
Right.
basically are.
Yeah, hang on. I'll amend.
we have to go through that second amendment and all.
I'll amend my, I'll put another.
Just to
motion.
withdraw and just put it on.
Just withdraw and put another motion, a motion to confirm the meeting minutes of September 20th, 2023 are correct in regarding to the WPCA decision to connect 1899 Brunson Road to the sewer system.
Second,
With an I and I rate of,
But no, but that says it in the.
okay, yeah, okay.
It's.
You got it, got it, got it, got it,
motion
got it.
That was in, I don't want to.
I'll second that motion.
any further discussion? Good? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. I see your raised hand, Alyssa, thank you.
Oh, you want to check?
okay, thank you.
I'm not cash. You don't have a briefcase? Whoa, wait a second. Thanks for all of your work. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you for the.
Sorry for the miscommunication.
Thank you. Have a good.
Thank you.
You too. Quick question on that. Now, I mean, it doesn't really matter for that case, but do we do the I&I rate at the time of versus?
At the,
Yeah,
historically, it's been at the time that the permit is.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And this was just setting, that was,
We said
Yeah.
that amount.
It's
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, so I think we should
We need
hold
to make
that.
sure we don't do that.
But,
anymore.
exactly. There would continue to be a lot
Working hard on it.
That way, the current permit would be at the current prevailing.
Exactly.
Exactly, exactly.
For some reason, it says in there, and even I think Joe made it.
Yeah, no, it was in
Surprised.
motion,
Joe
yeah.
Made the motion.
So that's why.
And he's usually
Too
a
unusual.
stickler on that.
Things
Yeah.
related to.
So-
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up for this particular case. 'Cause
Right.
It's done, it's done.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I understood. We don't normally do that. But that's that. Okay,
Right.
good. Thank
That's
you.
why I wanted to bring it up to your attention.
Yes, thank you for bringing it up. I think, I mean, I don't know, it seems, I think minutes are the official transcript, so those would uphold it verbal. All right, moving on. Old business item number 2, to hear, consider, and act on modified sewer connection proposed for a multifamily residential development consisting of 478 units, 531 bedrooms to replace the existing Circle Diner and Motel at 441 Post Road.
Good evening. My name is Andy Sumalides from Landtech. I just want to clarify that we're not looking to omit our previous approval that you folks are probably familiar with the mixed use development. We have 2 pending applications before the Planning and Zoning Commission. One for the mixed use, which you guys previously approved, and a second application, which is multifamily. The mixed use has been heard and closed. All intentions are hopefully that gets approved and we move forward with that application. But we did put in another application, which is a multifamily residential, which is what we're seeking for our second approval for, in terms of from this commission. We haven't yet had our first public hearing for P&Z yet. I think we're slated hopefully beginning of May. But we're hoping not to even go forward with that, honestly, because we prefer the mixed use option. But to protect our development rights of the property, that's why we have this pending application. So I'm not sure if your third-party reviewer had a chance to look at this, but it is very similar to, in terms of flows of what you guys previously approved. What we're looking for is 478 units would be on this site. And let me just share my screen just so you see what this plan looks like. So just to take a step back, the property is currently has two buildings on there that are hotel buildings, which are 80 keys total, and also you guys are probably familiar with the Circle Diner. In this iteration, everything on the site would be demolished, and 2 new buildings would go up, which are just multifamily.
So in this iteration, no more hotel, just multifamily structures.
Exactly. So you're
no
looking
diner.
at no diner, no hotel. In the first mixed use option, we have a residential component, we have a hotel component, and the diner remains in that previous iteration. So we did, just to refresh your memory, we did remonitored back in December at 2 points of concern for the mixed use and this project. And then we just updated our report essentially with these flows. And we also took a conservative approach where we didn't even deduct the current flows from the site. And just to show the previous flows, in terms of pipe capacity, and using 75% of that 24-inch pipe. So that was one of the points of concern that we monitored. And the other was in the old post road. This one's down on the post road as you get closer to the station. And this one is right on old post road. And this one was monitored at 75% capacity. And this was the previous number of 0.571 of that pipe size, the 24-inch. And 60% of the 8-inch pipe, we were at 0.363. In our new flows, I put up the calcs just to give you some comparison. 0.583, still well below the 0.75, and 0.438, again, below the 0.6. So we submitted this report, all the supporting data, and I don't know if you need your third-party reviewer or not to take a second look at this. But here we are seeking approval and maintaining our previous approval.
So just to clarify, it's an either or. You already have one. This is your you're going through the process of permitting your backup option.
Exactly.
Any other?
And they would need our approval before they go in front of zoning.
They don't need it, but that's typically the process.
Typically the process.
Correct.
Any other questions, comments, motion? Anyone?
I thought it was a 40-inch meter. It's only 24. Because I remember thinking that it wasn't going to make an appreciable difference because it's so huge, but it's not 40, it's 24.
I have it at,
24 is still a pretty good size pipe.
Big pipe.
I have it at 49% capacity. Yeah, for like the right tiers. I think it was up 5%. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I saw. I don't know. You make a motion.
We got to have a look for Joe's.
And just to refresh your memory, that the multifamily was 250 units, the hotel was 110 keys, and the diner remained in the mixed-use development.
I don't want to go back to what we just had. Because that was-
No, you definitely want to.
No. Okay, was-
Wow. Not sure where that went. Can't we just structure a motion to say that we approve this second option with the same parameters as the original option? Timing wise and 24-month approval?
And Chris is working on
I apologize. I got it. So I can try and find it.
Would it help if I sent the motion that was made the last time?
it. Yes.
And
Yes.
you presented? Okay, I have it right here.
You have it?
Especially in the format that wasn't the one that we just discussed.
Right.
That's kind of.
And just for clarity, the 24-month timeline or time frame before the permit lapses, what needs to happen before that? A building permit secured? You don't need to actually connect.
Nailed it.
Sorry, what's your question?
The 24-month time frame that the permit's valid for, what needs to happen before you have to either renew or reapply? Do you just need to pull a building permit, or do you actually need to connect?
Just pull the connection permit, I think, right?
Pull the permit and pay the I&I fee.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not, it's
Pull a
not.
permit, pay the INI. Got it.
Building permit.
Got it. Understood.
So the language is the approval would be valid for 2 years from today, and after 2 years, the applicant must reapply for extended approval. If the extension of time is requested, WPCA at its sole discretion may require an updated sewer capacity analysis. The applicant will be required to pay the I&I fees in effect at the time the permits are issued, and the fixed I&I will be waived for this project if the permits are issued within the initial 2-year approval window. You have to kind of modify that.
Yeah. How many gallons per day? How many gallons per day are you presenting on your new plan?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Sorry, how many gallons per day are you projecting
On the new
on
one?
plan? Yeah. It's
Let me pull up the conclusion. You're trying to do the math? I have the math here.
no, I'm just trying to get the actual numbers that you have because that the approval is going to be to the bedrooms and to the gallons per day number.
Got it.
That's what I'm looking for because that's what your old one was for.
Yep. So
I'm
we
trying to-
have somebody's writing 70 studios, 285 one beds, 123 two beds.
70 studios, what is it, 185? 185?
285 one, 123 two bed.
And how many gallons per day does that consist of?
It is 83,041.
Andy, could you repeat the number of one bedroom?
Sure.
I got the 70 to 123, but
the 285 one beds,
Okay,
Thank you.
so I made, You okay,
resulting
Ron?
in
Yeah,
83,041.
got it.
83041.
Ron, do you have anything else, or you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I make a motion to allow the proposed development at 441 Post Road consisting of 70 studios, 285 one-bedroom, 123 two-bedroom, with a 83,041 gallons per day total to connect to the Fairfield sewer system. This approval will be valid for 2 years from today. After 2 years, the applicant must reapply for extended approval. If an extension of the time is requested, the WPCA, at its sole discretion, may require an updated sewer capacity analysis. The applicant will be required to pay the I&I fees in effect at the time of the permits are issued, and the fixed I&I will be waived for this project if the permits are issued within the initial 2-year approval window.
Second.
I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Thank you all.
Melissa?
Thank you.
Just please note my abstination, please.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, abstaining on this, right, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Motion passes.
Chris, Joe would
Thanks,
be
Andy.
proud of you. That was very
Thanks
good.
all.
Good language.
Well phrased.
Sorry,
All right, thank
not
you.
prepared. Thank you.
All right.
I forgot my new job.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
It is a good idea.
Item
Thanks,
number
Michelle.
3, to hear an update on WPCA award recommendations for the select.
All right, so that is me. We are presenting the award to Corallo Engineers for the hydraulic and hydrologic model on Friday, this coming Friday. And we're also presenting the service agreements that we'll be entering into with BDP Industries for the sludge bio drying process on Friday as well. Those are the updates. Moving right ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Questions? All right, moving on, skipping new business because we moved that to May. So operational status updates. Compliance, bypasses, March micro.
It's all John.
Yeah, here we go with the microgrid again. So in March, we were hoping to do the final microgrid test with Schneider Electric and UI. And again, with the hopes of saving the equipment and lessening the impact, we kind of modified the test procedure, which proved again to cause us an issue, and we did lose power at the RAS building. We lost the UV system for 5 minutes. That being said, of course, we reported it to the state. The modification to the test was kind of our fault. The good news is that the microgrid testing passed UI, so we no longer need to do any more testing. The next time it happens will be, hopefully never, but will be during a storm scenario. So that whole thing is behind us. So
Good riddance.
lay it to rest. Lay it to rest. There were no bypasses in the street. There was none of that happened. Thank God. So I'm not going to talk about microgrid anymore.
All right. Comments, questions? All right, PA 24-59 sludge management updates.
We started hauling out with Stone, our cake sludge that's going to Pennsylvania. That is either 3, 4, or depending on the amount, 5 loads a week, has gone without a hitch. Subsequently, we also started with the compost across the street. That's through Casella. That is going to New York State, I believe. We're taking about 4 tractor trailer loads a day out. So that's moving along. No issues, no problems. So far, so good. Knock on wood. And both Chuck and Casella have been very accommodating. They come down, they check on the trucks that come, make sure we're happy. There's no issues with routes taken through town, spillage, anything. So far, fantastic. And I'd just like to add one little side note to the operational status. As of yesterday, all the Varick equipment on the digesters have been set, adjusted. The cover's floating, the waste gas burner's working, everything is as it was 3 years ago. So hallelujah on that.
All right. Any comments, questions, concerns?
When you say the trucks are coming out 2 or 3 tractor trailers a day, are they rectangular containers or are they tank trucks?
No, they're open dump trailers.
Because I saw a very large tank truck come up the other day and I thought,
Nope. Everything is solid, semi-solid. And it's during normal business hours, nothing after hours, nothing early yet. So.
All right. Moving right along, capital improvement projects updates, East Trunk replacements.
So we held 2 public town hall meetings, March 20th and March 25th. Meetings were sparsely attended, but they were both in person and virtual. I think the folks who live in the immediate area they had great questions, the people who did show up. And so the meetings were recorded. Recordings are going to be, if they're not already, posted publicly, as well as Q&A as a result of those meetings. Of course, people are going to have more questions once the work actually gets started. Once it actually gets started, a lot of concerns presented were about what is a bypass, what does that mean? It's one of the very first parts of this project. Is there going to be odor from bypasses? Just general questions about that. Will service be affected? But also about parking and the routing of traffic in the area, because there will be street closures. The utilities meeting occurred. The contractor, that meeting identified that there was potentially additional affected properties on Grassmere, where the lateral is currently routed to the back and will need to be routed towards the front of the property. So there is investigation by the contractor that's scheduled to occur to confirm this information. Our records internally were challenging to decipher,
To say the least.
Yeah. So again, the field investigation is really going to be important to continue on prior to finalizing plans for construction in that area. We're still on track to start the end of April for construction. And I'll just continue to run through the list. Let me know if there's questions.
What's the, for the bypass pumping? Is it diesel pumps?
I believe it is, well,
I think it's a combo.
yeah, we're doing similar that we did with Turner Creek.
Yeah. So I think the main ones are electric.
Are we doing electric as the main and diesel as the bypass?
I might be thinking of Attorney Creek.
Yeah,
It's probably a combination of 2.
yeah. I'll confirm. I can confirm.
I mean, I was just curious.
Down there.
Yeah.
That's more commercial down there? Where they're gonna be pumping from, or is it all residential in the back?
It's a mix, a lot of residential. Yeah.
Because those are gonna be 24/7.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Attorney Creek.
Right, yeah.
Yes. I'm thinking on the other side. Yeah.
That's why Attorney Creek made the electric as the main. to
Right,
keep
that's what I
noise.
was.
Yeah.
I think that it's following the similar.
I would
have
think
to
so.
refresh my
Probably.
memory.
Yeah.
For Fairfield Beach, that project remains on schedule. So the geotechnical borings and environmental testing are scheduled to start on April 16th. and run through, I think, the 21st. DEP is going to be visiting all of our pump stations with us later in May. We're tentatively planning on May 20th. If anyone from the commission would like to join us, if interested in that tour with DEP. DEP is taking a special interest. We've had great open communications with that department, and they want to make sure that we maintain our eligibility for the clean water funding. So this is a good thing that they're interested in coming out. Any questions about Fairfield Beach? Phase 5 I&I, the manhole and sewer main rehabilitation project, that also remains on schedule. We have a kickoff meeting with our 2 contractors, In Situ Forum and National Farm Clean Company on April 16th. There's a lot going on April 16th.
Okay.
CI operation. Phase 1 plant improvements. So the RFQ was advertised on Friday, so the 4th. Yay! That's a huge,
Big win.
huge for us getting that project some traction. The site visit for the prospective bidders is also April 16th.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow.
Yeah, it's very busy on that day.
John picked a good week to take vacation.
Everyone's up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, down spring break.
Center Street Pump Station and Forest Main and the Mill River Forest Main. So RTM authorized funding on March 31st. I should add that the RTM also authorized the funding for our flusher truck, which is the next item on the agenda, as well as I'm not missing one. Those were the 4: the pump station, Forest Main for Center, Mill River Forest Main, and the flusher truck. So all are authorized, green light, we can move forward with. We are on schedule with Client Bonds to initiate flow metering related to the Center Street pump sizing. And that's scheduled to start later in April, I think.
Yeah, well,
Not April 16th, I don't think.
no, they were there the other day for,
They
they put the meter in, yeah,
They did install the meter the other day.
because they have a rain
Right.
gauge at the plant.
Okay,
too.
so that's underway already. Wright Pierce is also on schedule to initiate or did they come out already?
They're coming Monday to go to Center Street to do the force main emergency action plan or whatever.
So we got Wright Pierce working on the Center Street and Mill River emergency standard operating procedure contingency plan
That's it.
for the 2 force mains, and as well as doing a risk assessment for the Center Street pump station. And those are the capital project updates.
Question? There are no other items within the agenda.
Question on your email that you sent at 12 o'clock today. Were we discussing that? For the,
The follow-up
yeah,
from last
follow-up,
month's meeting,
yes.
I'm open to discuss it.
Could fit under other. There's no posted agenda.
Can I put that on? Can I make a motion to amend the agenda under other? I'd like to add, let's see. I'd like to add the discussion on WPCA financial trade-offs between the town.
Just add to the agenda.
Essentially.
And then we would vote on that?
Yeah.
All in favor? I'll begrudgingly accept, even though you're still in my, what would have been the record.
Fast. I don't want to go home to work. I gotta get to at least bedtime. Bedtime.
33 minutes. No.
I think even if
Okay.
those 2 didn't, we still have a
Okay.
majority. I don't think he did either, but I don't think it matters. The motion passes.
Motion passed. So the email that you sent out, so what was decided with the town? Because you sent
There hasn't been any decisions made,
Correct.
just providing the information that was requested.
in the information that you sent us, because you gave us 2023 and 2024 documentations for the sewer, did they pay, my question was, it was like the tax records, do they pay the sewer assessments? So they do pay all their,
We pay the
We-
town sewer
we pay.
fees.
So those of our,
pays.
I just want to have a clarification. Those are, we pay that out of our fund balance.
Out of our fund,
For the town projects.
correct.
And I think it
But
was like,
not projects, but
Temporary
for
facility.
the
For the
properties,
facility.
properties, yeah.
yes, that was in your, so that was, so I think it was like 120 or 95 or so last year. Just, I'm just trying to get, I'm just trying to get my head around this of what we're giving to the town and then just kind of that. So that was it. That was
Yeah.
the question I had. And then I'm done. And are we discussing this in the future or is this up to the town still or?
So I know the commission had asked, in addition to providing the information, the raw data, asked that this be brought to the town for discussion. And so I did bring this to our finance department.
Yep.
And the finance department asked me to craft an email to send to them to document the request for discussion.
Okay,
So I still need to do that.
that's it. Thank you. I just want to understand your,
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's complicated.
it's very complicated. It's a very complicated,
It's sensitive.
yes,
Sound.
that's very.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Good.
Done.
All right, motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.